Welcome to the channel. Today, I want to invite you to join me in a story that goes far beyond beauty, beyond photographs and runways. Today, we're exploring the journey of the famous model who, with discipline and quiet determination, carved her path from the Russian Federation to the European modeling scene. A woman born on Friday, January 1, 1988, into a hard-working family, surrounded by roots that blended Polish, Ukrainian, and Russian traditions. From her earliest years, her life was shaped by a balance between dreams and responsibility. She grew up in a middle-class home where the essentials were always present, but every achievement was understood as the result of effort. She had siblings, shared games, responsibilities, and everyday moments that molded her character. Her childhood was not extravagant or filled with luxury, but it was rich in values. From a very young age, she showed integrity, commitment, and intelligence. She prioritized her studies and understood that education was the foundation of any aspiration. Those who knew her back then describe her as observant, disciplined, and curious. She loved swimming. She spent hours in the water, finding in it a sense of freedom that she would later translate into her confident walk on the runway. She also enjoyed spending time with her pets, developing a special sensitivity toward the living beings around her. That combination of strength and tenderness would become a constant throughout her adult life. From a young age, she dreamed of becoming an important model. It was not a passing desire or a superficial fantasy. She participated in school events, cultural activities, and any opportunity that allowed her to stand in front of an audience or a camera. She wasn't chasing immediate applause, she simply felt that this was her natural space. While others hesitated, she practiced. While others dreamed silently, she took small, steady steps. However, the path was not immediate. While studying, she also worked. On weekends, she participated in small events as a non-professional model. She learned about lighting, posture, and stage presence. There were no major spotlights or international contracts yet, but there was constant learning. That stage was crucial because it was there that she understood discipline was just as important as beauty. When she reached adulthood, she made a decision that would change her destiny. She began seeking opportunities with major agencies. It wasn't easy. Presenting yourself to industry professionals means facing critical eyes, comparisons, and high expectations. But her confidence and preparation gave her a quiet advantage. Her natural beauty, combined with a professional attitude, gradually opened doors across Europe. The year 2010 marked the formal beginning of her career. At that time, the internet was becoming increasingly influential in our lives. Social media platforms were turning into global showcases, and the famous model adapted quickly to this new landscape. While many careers depended exclusively on traditional runways, she understood the power of digital presence. She began establishing herself not only as a model but also as an influencer, connecting with audiences who appreciated her style, elegance, and authenticity. She may not have achieved massive popularity in America, but in Europe her presence became increasingly recognized. Her face began appearing in campaigns, photo shoots, and collaborations that solidified her name within the industry. Yet behind every photograph was a story of quiet preparation, long hours of work, and unwavering consistency. Midway through her professional journey, there were moments of deep reflection. Fame brings opportunities, but it also demands inner strength. Constant exposure can create pressure. Expectations grow. Every detail is analyzed. And it is in those moments that character is truly tested. Staying true to the values she learned at home, she remained focused. She remembered her roots, her hard-working family, the afternoons spent swimming, and the weekends of youthful effort. There were challenges not always visible to the public. Important decisions, changes in direction, projects that did not turn out as expected. But instead of stopping, she transformed every obstacle into a lesson. She understood that true strength does not lie in avoiding difficulties, but in moving through them with dignity. Her multicultural background also shaped her worldview. Having Polish, Ukrainian, and Russian roots allowed her to appreciate different traditions, adapt to diverse environments, and understand that identity is a sum of experiences. That cultural richness was reflected in the way she expressed herself, in her style, and in her connection with different audiences. Over the years, the recognized actress, as many began calling her due to her appearances in audiovisual projects connected to modeling, built an elegant and professional image. It wasn't only about physical beauty, it was about presence. A presence that conveyed confidence without arrogance, warmth without losing mystery. Today, at 38 years old, she represents a generation that experienced the transition from an analog world to a digital one. She grew alongside the internet, understanding its dynamics without losing authenticity. Her career gained viral attention at a time when platforms were beginning to amplify faces and talent on a global scale. And she managed to stay relevant through consistency. Beyond fame, what truly stands out in her story is coherence. She never stopped prioritizing her growth. She never forgot her early effort. She never allowed exposure to completely define who she was. Perhaps that is the most powerful lesson of her journey. External success can only be sustained when it is built on a solid internal foundation. When we look at her current photographs, we see a confident, elegant, mature woman. But behind that image are years of preparation, discipline, and quietly sustained dreams. There is a little girl who swam while imagining future stages. There is a young woman who worked weekends while studying. There is a determined adult who presented herself to agencies with the firm conviction that she could achieve her goals. This story does not seek to idealize or exaggerate. It aims to remind us that behind every public figure there is a human process. That the shine of a runway begins long before, in simple and ordinary spaces. That recognition does not replace values, it tests them. Perhaps not everyone knew the famous model before this story. Perhaps her popularity did not cross into America with the same intensity. But that does not diminish her impact or her journey. On the contrary, it invites us to discover talent beyond the obvious and to value stories that deserve to be told. If this story has helped you learn more about the model, if her discipline and consistency have inspired you, share in the comments whether you already knew her or if this is the first time you've heard about her. We would love to read your thoughts and know which part of her journey stood out to you the most. And if you enjoy discovering the human stories behind fame, the ones that reveal quiet effort and authentic determination, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and share this clip with someone who needs to remember that dreams are built step by step. Because in the end, beyond the spotlights, what truly remains is discipline, integrity, and the ability to believe in yourself even when the journey is just beginning.